Alrighty, so in the previous video, we talked about how to create a custom page template, but now I want to show you how you would write your very own custom WordPress function. Okay, we're going to write a very basic function that would output some text on any template file where we choose to call that function in. So let's say, for example, I do have my Notepad++ over here. I open up the header.php. And let's say, for example, I wanted to output the text that says, this is a WordPress website. Now I could do that in here. I could say H1. We're going to wrap it around H1 tags so that it's big and bold. And say, let's just say, welcome. Welcome to this website. And let me close the H1 tag. And I could even add a class and call this class greetings, give it a class of greetings. And I could even add a div as well with a class of, let's just say, welcome. And on a new line, let me just indent this actually. On a new line, I can put out a paragraph and say, I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's close the paragraph and let's close the div. All right. Okay, so let me just save this first of all and make sure it's outputting correctly. Refresh the page and here you go. Welcome to this website. I hope you enjoy your stay. Now, if we wanted to output this text on other template files, typically we would need to copy this block of code and then paste it wherever we want to display it in. However, by writing a function, we can make this job a lot easier and make the code a lot more clean. So what I'm going to do right now would be to show you how you would write a WordPress function to display this text whenever we call it. So to do that, I'm going to open up the functions.php file. Keep in mind that usually, functions.php is where you would find the functions that make up a WordPress theme. Let's come down in here, and what I'm going to do would be to add my comments first of all and say custom function 1 asterisks. And now what I'm going to do is to write the name function, first of all, function, all right, and then I can say add underscore greeting. That would be the name of the function right now, brackets, and then my curly bracket opened up. I am going to close the PHP tag, and let me just cut this off. We don't need that anymore. Save header.php. Come back in here right now and paste a block of code. And now down in here, I am simply going to go ahead now and close the PHP block of code using this closing curly bracket. All right, so what's happening over here? If you have experience with PHP, then you definitely know why I had to use the curly bracket and all that. But if you don't know, let me just quickly explain to you. The reason now why I have this curly bracket opened up in here is because in programming, you can never have HTML code directly inside of an open PHP block of code. You can have PHP code inside of an HTML code, that's fine, but you cannot have HTML inside of a PHP code. Right now, if you scroll all the way up, you can see we do have the opening PHP tag over here and it never closes up until the very end here. Now, the reason why I closed it is because I am now writing out some pure HTML, which is the div class equals welcome, blah, 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 blah. All that is HTML. So I have to close the PHP tag first of all, before I can write out this HTML. Now, the reason why I do have this curly bracket open though is to indicate that this HTML code is actually part of this PHP function. That is why I have the curly bracket open. And of course, whenever you have something open, you should close it, unless of course if it's the main PHP tag right here. Typically in WordPress and the functions.php, most developers will open up the PHP code, but they will never close it. Okay, so let's come all the way down here. So over here right now, I had to close the curly bracket that I opened up over here. And that's why I had to open up the PHP code again so that this curly bracket will be recognized as PHP code. I hope you got that. Feel free to reach out to me if you don't understand what I did there. But we've now added a function. Its name is outGreeting. So let's save this. So now what I can do would be to simply come over here right now, and instead of writing all that code, I can just say PHP and then add underscore greeting, brackets, semicolon, and then close that. So now we have a function right here. Let's save. Let's go back in here. Let's refresh the page. And there you go. We have our text. So if I wanted to display this greeting at the bottom of our post or our page, I can just copy this function right now, go to footer.php, and then over here, I can just paste that block of code as well, save, refresh the page. And now down here, you can see we have the same function calling out the text that we've created. So congratulations, you've just created your very first custom WordPress function. I know it's very basic. Don't worry, we're going to write a lot more advanced functions as we progress. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next class.